Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dog Pound Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
And today is the February podcast.
Today is the February podcast.
Today is the February podcast.
This is the day of the February podcast.
This is the season of love, Alex.
The season of love. I have so much love to give.
You feeling the love?
I'm feeling the love. I love, what do you love? For?
You can't even answer what you love.
No, I can answer what I love.
That's a roundabout way of being like, oh, I can't think of anything quite yet.
No, I love strawberry milkshakes.
I feel like that's your go-to.
Yeah, because I love them.
We've had this conversation before. Oh, I'm not wearing a belt. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander DeFore is not wearing a belt, apparently.
We have fun. Today is the mock interviews for a lot of CTAE pathways and internship, but I don't think it counts as a CTA pathway. I think it's different.
Yeah, we're doing it for internship though.
Yeah. So me and Alex in the studio are dressed very on fleek, as the kids would say.
That's crazy. I think you're 10 years too late to that one, buddy.
So we're very fetched today.
Yeah, we look all nice. We get to dress up.
Although I'm beltless, which is actually kind of embarrassing now that I
it's fine.
Really grasp
just button
that
up
concept.
Your coat. They won't see it.
I know.
No, I feel like we've been dressing up a lot recently.
We have, and there's a. I was talking to my dad about it because I was like, I walked in. He works from home, and we have a home office, and I was walking down the staircase, which is like near where his office is, and he's already down there, and he's wearing like shorts and a t-shirt, and just working. And I'm wearing a full suit, and I look at him, and we just kind of have like this recognition as we look at each other. And I was like, I wear a suit way too often for my age.
Yeah, what is it? Because we had to do this presentation thing for UNG for our film pathway and our fine arts pathway. So that was something we had to get dressed up for.
We had some UNG higher ups.
Yeah,
they came to Central and they toured all of our buildings, and I think it was only art related because they toured the band room, they toured the film studio, the new one, and they toured the visual arts hall, and we had to dress up for that. We were ambassadors. It was very fun. We all had a great time.
Yeah. Back to our topic of love. You never answered me.
Oh, what do I love?
Yeah, what do you love?
Strawberry milkshake already taken.
Yeah.
You know what? I love our high school. I love our high school.
Do you?
I do. That's
and
genuine.
I can tell he's not actually, this isn't a joke. He does love the high school.
Yes. Especially because it's getting warmer. And Central in the spring is fantastic because we have an open campus and it's not freezing when you go outside.
We touched on it before, but we do love hammocking. When it gets warmer.
Okay, listen, you got to go up. My challenge persists. You must do this for the rest of your life now, is ask people if they like hammocking. And if they say no, remember, they're just lying to you.
I would say one of the things that I love, which is very, Forsyth County resident specific, is how sort of diverse in environments our county is. There's a lot of different sort of natural environments that you can go to. We've got a lake, we've got a mountain, we've got a bunch of different parks throughout the county that you can all go to. And we've got, a pretty decently sized town with a lot of stuff in it. And, you go south for about, at the bottom of Forsyth County, you'd go south for about 20 minutes and you hit Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's
convenient for me because I live on the south side.
I live right at the north, almost.
You're closer to
Dawson.
I want to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm closer to Dawson, but, yeah.
Yeah, I too appreciate that, especially now recently. I think as seniors, and we gained more independence with driver's license and whatnot. We as more of us are turning 18, we got those Class C licenses that can take you, all your friends and whatnot, no matter the time. And we've been going a lot out to, every Friday, a group of us go to like Sawney Mountain or the lake, which are places that like I've lived here for 13 years, and to be honest, I haven't those were never really hangout places because of just the inaccessibility to them. But as you get older, that's like, oh, why didn't we go to this more often? No,
it's very fun. And I encourage people to, if they haven't really, just explore this county. If you have the opportunity, get to know the county because it's a very fun place.
Yeah,
if you know what to do.
There's a hidden treasure buried somewhere. If you find the ancient map, you'll figure out where it is. Then you have to go through the maze of destiny, but then when you're done, you can find it.
Black Bart's grandson actually buried treasure somewhere around Lake Lanier.
That's a true fact unless debunked.
Yeah. I believe it's on one of the islands.
I'm a firm believer on it's in Fowler Park. When you say
Fowler Park.
near Lanier is a really wide radius.
Yeah. Okay, don't go to the islands. Actually, that's illegal. Do not do that. You know, I've said this before on the podcast, but it really still stands. And like with every high school, the thing that really makes Central is its wonderful student body. There's so many different students with such amazing interests or hobbies or passions or skills that they are expressing every single day. And there are a lot of things to help with student body and to just kind of enrich Central as a whole. Of course, everyone knows about the thrifting event that we do every year. Recently, I was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was around 2 weeks ago. They did the one for the Dress for Success where you bring in a bunch of formal clothing so students can get formal clothing for, of course, mock interviews and other things like that. I actually got the sports coat that I'm wearing right now for my interview from
Come
it.
full circle.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's this nice navy coat. So I'm, it just kind of serves as a little representation of how wonderful the environment is here at
Central
Central.
pays it forward.
Yeah, it does. It 100% does.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
and I've asked many people this throughout the years.
Yes, DeFore, what is it?
All right, it's an either-or question. Would you rather, say you're living alone, and like say you have your whole place to yourself, would you rather have a model railroad room or a giant terrarium?
You know my answer. It's a giant terrarium, dude.
Okay, yeah. That's odd because usually every man says model railroad and every woman says giant terrarium.
Well,
I'm split between them because I want both. I want like a giant terrarium that has like all these crazy plants and like water growing in, but also like little like jumping spiders and like ants and what else go lizards. That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be really cool. It's like a giant glass vivarium. It's more of a vivarium than a terrarium.
My science teacher in 7th grade had a tarantula. And I love that tarantula. I've always wanted a tarantula. I used to take him out, and I would let him just kind of crawl on me.
Yeah.
He was great.
I held a tarantula once in my life.
Yeah.
It was an Otwell. That was probably the same tarantula.
Probably the same tarantula. Was his name? I think his name was Mr.
I don't
Cuddles.
remember the tarantula's name.
Mr. Cuddles. Yeah, he was great. I think it was a she. I don't know. Can't remember.
But I asked this because those would be two hobbies I would like to do in the future. Because model railroading is also like cool. Like I started doing that when I was a kid, and then I haven't got time and money to go back to it. But what's in the spirit of love? What hobbies do you love? What are little activities you like doing?
Getting into a little bit of a different definition of love.
Yeah, love doesn't need to be just platonic or romantic. It can also be hobbyic.
Love for your work. I love your interests. Let me think. What is something that I love? I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I love swimming. Now that it's getting warmer, hopefully I'll be able to do swimming more.
You used to do swimming.
Yeah, that was a long time ago and only for 1 year, but I do love swimming. But
Right.
What do you love for?
Well, obviously, like everyone knows who I am. Photography is it's a passion of mine, and I'd consider it even though like I am minoring it in college, I'd consider it a hobby because I don't intend on going into that as a career.
Yeah.
I intend to go into film, but that hobby's been paying off tenfold. I mean, I'm not to brag, toot my own horn, but I'm going to like a lot of shows in the next 2 months with my stuff in it.
Yeah.
So
and
definitely hobbies can be rewarding in many ways.
That's definitely very helpful because you want photography to pay off because photography is not cheap.
Yeah, no, oh my God.
Well, at least film photography. Digital photography is a bit more
I mean, it's
manageable.
less of continuous payments, but like last summer I spent $1,300, which looking back at, I don't know where I came across $1,300 to spend because my bank account wasn't at zero at the end. I just don't know what I did. But I guess mowing lawns is that lucrative.
Yeah.
But I ended up buying a whole new camera and crazy lens from Japan. I had to get it serviced and whatnot, so it all came out to $1,300. But I mean, like even now, my new camera, just the shutter's not working half the time, so I have to go and find a place to get that repaired before I have a new shoot coming up. So that, I mean, still both of them cost so much money.
Yeah, I will say jumping into a pool or a river is not that expensive.
Yeah.
What is it? So we did actually ask a few people about interests they had before starting this podcast, and let me see if I can kind of remember. So one of our students here was interested in equestrian things, and I've actually heard that from a couple of students before, which is like,
And if you don't know, equestrian's horse riding.
yeah, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like, horses are big animals. Horses are kind of scary animals too. I worked with horses for around a year. That was fun.
I actually knew some people who were into those little, what are they called? The little ball rocket, Estes rockets.
Like
the ones that like you build from like
the stuff with the chemical reaction that goes like.
Yeah, it's like a little like gunpowder motor thing at the bottom, or not motor, but it's like a almost like a firecracker you put in the bottom of it, and basically this rocket you build yourself just flies in the air. You ever watch October Sky?
A while ago.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think that was
did.
a movie they had us watch in math forever ago about these kids in the 50s who build their own rockets. It's basically those. They come in pre-built things. And I've seen them like occasionally when they go off and whatnot. Those things go high. And then like the nose
Really?
cone pops off and then like a parachute comes out.
Oh, so it's like a little. It
Does float down. It's really funny.
That's cool.
But that's a cool little hobby.
That's a cool hobby. I know actually, pretty interesting. One of the students we talked to, is an author, and when I say author, I mean a published author. So I thought that was really interesting. You know, I've talked to a lot of students here who are interested in writing, but that's a direct pardon me, that's a direct path that you can see with those interests in writing, which I thought was very interesting.
Actually, I know the person who was the author, or still is, I guess. And I remember it was last year we were in the governor's honor program. One of the levels of interviewing. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a prestigious camp thing that you do for 6 weeks of the summer. You have to go through many levels of interviews to get in. And me and Alex were there for communicative arts, and I remember this person who is the published author was there with us.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
So you get recognition.
Another interesting hobby that we actually talked about with people was one person that we were talking to did magnet fishing. Do you know what magnet fishing is before?
To be honest, when you say that, what comes to my mind is the little kiddie pools that have like the ducks on them, and you have like the little magnet.
Well, it's kind of like that, but for adults. So
you make ducks eat magnets in the actual river?
No. So you go into these rivers or these small waterways, and you have this super powerful magnet, like the ones that
The one that can attract fish.
Yeah, no. Like the ones that you get in speakers, the really powerful ones. And you toss it into the waterway, and you pull it up, and you get metal attached to it, and you can pull crazy things out of these waterways that people just chuck in because, going to the dump is so hard.
Oh, okay.
Like you've seen a bunch of people that have pulled like whole bicycles.
See, I still thought we were going off the fish thing. I was wondering how that's incorporated. I was like, okay,
no, DeFore,
so you have
no
to
fish.
Sorry, you said fishing. In my mind, I was thinking like the whole goal is to hope there is something metal and metallic in this river that you can pull up that will scoop the fish up. I was like, it's a really big whim.
No, it's fishing in spirit.
I hope people just threw a bunch of ladles in here so I can scoop up these fish.
No, I think it's good that you're removing trash out of the water, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of fishing,
Uh-huh.
I still have my fishing license. Do you?
So do I. Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
So
Did we get them at the same time? Because they like.
I think we did. I don't pretend to be good at fishing, but I do enjoy fishing a lot.
The best flex I have is that when I was like 6, I went with my grandparents and sister to fish in Connecticut, and everyone caught little tiny fish that day, but I caught 2 catfish. Don't know how.
They were planted.
My fishing line, like the rod itself, was a purple plastic Scooby-Doo one. So
that's funny.
The fact that that's what caught the fish.
I fish in a decent amount of places. Usually in up north in the streams there where they've got trout and stuff. They stock a lot of the rivers there in trout. Actually, I remember once. I cannot remember if I was in Florida or Louisiana. I've got family in both places, but I was on a dock, and we were going crab fishing. Do you know how crab fishing works?
Yeah.
So, yeah. For those of you who don't know, you get a bunch of bait in this trap, and you lower the trap into the water, and you just kind of wait. But I had a line that I had put in the water, and my parents had the line that they had put in the water, and you just kind of wait there for a minute. So they were like, Alex, do not just pull this up. We have to wait. And so I'm like, yes, Mom, yes, Dad. But
You still say it like that.
yeah, I do. But I had gotten bored, and they had gone off somewhere on the dock, so I was just kind of having fun. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to pull up the line. And so I go, and I pull up my parents' line, not my line, my parents' line, and there must have been 10 crabs in there. And so they found it hard to be mad at me after that.
Good for you. I'm glad that paid off.
Yeah. I hope that the people hosting this podcast next year are friends.
Yes.
Because me and you are friends.
Let's be clear. We're not leaving. We still got like, oh, wow. We only got like 2 more episodes left.
Yeah. Featuring the Alex and Alex trio. I know the Nikki and Chris
Should we bring
duo.
Should we bring Nikki and Chris back?
You know, if they would come in for it.
If they would.
If we can get it, I'd love to bring Nikki and Chris back for a guest appearance on the podcast.
Every podcast finale needs to have all the hosts come back. Because I know next year's, who might be the host. They're talking about bringing us back.
Dude, I'm 100% happy to come back and do a cameo on next season. But for now, this has been the February episode of the Dog Pound Pod.
Oh, wait. Do it again.
But for now, this has been the February episode of the
Dog Pound Podcast. I'm your host.
Alex.
And you're my host.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
We're both Alex.
Wait, we're both Alex? I just discovered
so
this.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
We love you, dear listeners, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.